Hudson Clement got paid, man. And I'm talking paid. And his brother went with him too. And they're not the only former Mountaineers in an Illini uniform. What the heck is going on, man? Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am the host, and this is Locked On West Virginia. Nothing wants to work. Not even my mouth right now, apparently. So technology is going to be a technology, I guess. And here we go. Literally nothing wants to work right now. Every button I press is delayed. It took me forever to get in here. So I apologize. I don't know how it's going to look tonight. Hopefully it looks better than yesterday when the weather was going insane outside while I was recording and everybody was like, your internet sucks. And I was like, man, it was like a thunderstorm outside. And anyway, here we are. Thank you for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, guys, and for being a part of Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team every single day. So Hudson Clement calls it quits on his WVU career. I think a lot of us held some type of hope out that he would return, being that he's a hometown kid, that he the way his career kind of blossomed right in front of our eyes. That's not the case. He will be moving on to play for Brett Bielema in the Illini. So certainly didn't have that on my list of things that would happen this year, but you just never know with the portal these days. And look, Rich Rod came in to replace the guy that recruited Hudson. I know a lot of people seem to be upset, but at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about the camera. Nothing I can do. So I don't know what else to do. I've got a brand new camera. I've got the highest internet speed I can get. So it's at the point now where it's just really frustrating to even look at it in the comments. So as far as I know, Hudson apparently didn't see eye to eye with Rich. These are rumors you hear when he came in. I don't know, man. I still thought they were going to be able to work it out, but there are numbers out there. I don't know how reportable they are. I haven't officially seen anything. I'll say, some people who think it's over $500,000. I think, you hear numbers as high as $800K, what he was asking for. They say that West Virginia countered with $400K and that Illinois settled on $600. If that's true, I'm sorry, but he's not worth that, in my opinion. You can get way better players for that kind of money. And his brother went with him. Seems like they accommodated a lot of what he was asking for. Yeah, it's definitely not dirty either, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry if it's too blurry for you to watch. I will call my internet provider tomorrow and see if there's anything else I can do. Maybe I need to plug an Ethernet cord into the back. I don't know, but I'm just gonna move on with the show, and hopefully it clears up for the next one. But so this is a kind of a kick to the gut though, because I think we wanted him back, and it just didn't happen. So, and Illinois is parading him out like a big time get, which he's a nice get. I don't think, and I'm not being sour grapes here at all. I just don't think he disappeared in a lot of games for me over the course of his couple years. And as a walk-on, that's to be expected. Now, he was good versus man coverage. He had a really good game versus Memphis and all that. I think he countered off that momentum that he built versus Memphis. That was a lot of people's last impression of him. If he'd have caught one ball, he's probably still a Mountaineer, as funny as it sounds. So I don't know that to be certain, but that's just the way it looks to me. And then he gets his brother, and he's not the only person that ended up in an Illini uniform. Tommy Dorjai, who went to Kentucky, in Florida State, and just everywhere he's moved around. He's one of those guys that's going to be possibly 4 or 5 programs in 4 or 5 years. He had it good here, in my opinion. I think Andrew Jackson had him get ready to play at a really high level, and unfortunately, he is now gone. And I don't know if he would have been a Rich Rod type guy, but look, here we go. Right? He's in Illinois as well. So they seem to be, if it's not Missouri, it's Illinois. They want all the Mountaineer players, don't they? Which is fine with me. I don't care. I know a lot of people get hung up on it. It's not something I'm going to get hung up on, because personally, I just really trust Rich Rod to the point when it comes to, if there's one thing that I can criticize Rich Rodriguez for, it's not player development, and it's not choosing talent. And that goes with whoever he's been with over his, how long is it now? I mean, it's going on 30 years plus career. So Rich Rod is a great selector of talent. And I know I've used this one a bunch of times, but they had a running back out of Division II Limestone last year as a top 5 rusher that everybody would want. If he was in the portal right now, he'd be getting $800,000. Their running back from last year. So I think it's, let's trust the process with Rich Rod. We got a pretty dang good running back to be excited about, as long as and look, I'm pretty sure he's going to stick around, from everything I've been told and everything. You look at his social media, he was really happy with the Chad Scott selection. I think we're going to have some weapons, guys. And look, in this offense, you've got to have a mobile quarterback. Check. We've got one, whether that's Nico, whether that's anybody else that's on the roster. Obviously, we have some movement there. But, we've got guys, Scotty Fox is coming in, who is a very similar to Garrett Green type player. Like, we've got guys on the roster that can be mobile at the quarterback spot. And then we've got an incredibly good running back that I think is going to be really fun to watch in this offense. As long as the only thing I wonder with Jaheim is, I don't know how he's going to do with carry after carry after carry. Can he be a workhorse, or is he going to be like a 2-down kind of back for us? And we'll bring in a 3rd down back. I'm not sure. Certainly it can be by committee, but Jaheim's going to be fun to watch in the offense. So now, obviously, Nico is mobile enough to run this offense as well. Just go look at the Oklahoma State game if you question it. And it's going to be fun. West Virginia is going to bring in some guys to replace these losses, especially the Hudson Clement loss. They're on campus right now as we speak. We've obviously got Cyrus Trow, who is from Parkersburg, on campus. I think he's on campus now. If he's not, he will be in the next couple of days. I have to go look at my list again. This is a kid that I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't commit, and he is a really good player. You go watch Youngstown State footage. He's similar to a Hudson Clement. He is. He was a freshman there and played really well at times, and it was a freshman All-American for them. So great for him. We've got him on campus. We've got guys like the Yale receiver coming to town. I just spoke to him today, and I think it's between us and Michigan and when it comes to him. He's a big-time bona fide receiver as well, that I would even say goes further beyond what Huddy has done in his career. And we've got other guys too. We've got the Northern Illinois kid coming in, who is I like to compare him to sort of like a Marcus Sims type player, if you remember Marcus Sims, or maybe a Shelton Gibson. Of course, Shelton Gibson caught 60, 70 balls for us. So I'm not saying I don't know if he'll do that, but at Northern Illinois, he's that 4.2 speed kind of guy. You know what I mean? So, and like Jonathan Powell enthusiast says, Cyrus was a dog in high school. He's one of the greatest players in the state and one of the greatest players in their school's history. So, yeah, Eric, that's the kid from Northern Illinois, Cam, whatever his last name is. He's the 4.3 kid. So, we've got replacements coming, guys. They're on the way. I think Rich Rod and those guys are going to do an incredible job with what they have to select players this go around. And I know people are saying, I thought we had all this money. It's not that we don't have, but Rich Rod's not going to take all the support that he's getting. And we don't know over how many years some of this stuff is for. Like the women's basketball team got $10 million or whatever the number was. I think it's $10 million. Am I wrong on that? Somebody quote me if I'm wrong. I know it's several $1 million the women's basketball team got, and that wasn't for 1 year, obviously, or they would just win it all. I think, or they would have, they're doing pretty good as it is, but that's over a course of a couple years. I think some of Rich Rod's support is like that. I've talked to a few players that have been told by him, hey, look, this is going to kick in our second and third year, more NIL, the way they have it set up. But I think they think the nucleus of the team was in place. I don't think they expected as many guys at the portal as that did, but they still feel like there is a nucleus in place on the offensive and defensive lines to still take a step. And I believe that. If you look at it, defensive line set up really well, guys. I think we've got some guys that nobody knows about yet. Corey McIntyre will be a day one starter next year that everybody needs to learn about, and quick. Hammond Russell, guys like that are going to be really good on the defensive line going forward. And we got more guys than just those two. And then you talk about the trio of Livingston, Cray, and Bosley. I think that's a nice unit to start with. And we're going to be okay. I think people just don't freak yet. We've got to bring in some pieces. Obviously, Young Bear is obviously another piece we brought in from Tulane. That's 4 offensive linemen I think can start for us next year, at least 3. Maybe you want a different guy than Cray. And then there's Eddie V coming back, just like somebody else just said. So there's a lot of pieces on this unit as far as from the lines of scrimmage go. We've just got to feel out around the unit, right? And like we've got a running back. We think we've got a chance at quarterback. Maybe they go after a guy. We've got to add a couple pieces at receiver. We're doing that, and I think better than Neil Brown ever did. The guys we have on campus right now are better than almost any guys that Neil Brown brought in. Seriously. Like maybe Jaden Bray ends up being what he was supposed to be this year, and that would be great. And then it's all secondary. That's what we've got. So many secondary pieces coming in. We're going to be okay. It's just like Aaron Rodgers said to the Green Bay Packers reporters that one time, RELAX, relax. Up next on Locked On West Virginia, we're finally announcing some coaching hires. Who are these mysterious coaching hires, and are they any good? Well, let's talk about that, guys. Stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia. Technology. My little bumper, there it goes. Technology, man. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by FanDuel, guys. Guys, right now on FanDuel, the NFL playoffs are coming up. And right now on FanDuel, you can win $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com to get started. It is a brand new season. The playoffs are almost here, guys. And like I said, $250 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. You can only do it at FanDuel, and you can only do it now. Make every moment count with FanDuel, and an official sports partner of the National Football League. Nothing wants to work. It's okay. We're going to roll with it. It's fine. So the coaching staff. We've got a couple names to play with here, and I'm excited about them. I think you look at what they've done at other spots, and you can get a little excited about this. Let's go with the one that not everybody has heard about yet. This is Coach Henry Weinreich, who says, I'm not going to make a joke about his last name. Nickel and Sam coach for West Virginia football, who's coached 16 all-conference, 3 All-Americans in 8 seasons. And he comes in from OU, guys. So this is a big-time get. This guy coming in with Zach Alley. This is obviously a Zach Alley hand-picked guy. This is a young guy, guys. He can't be any more than 25 years old from looking at him. And look, like he's obviously was an analyst. When you look at some of the stuff he did at OU, he was like an analyst. So this is one of those young hires that at OU that was probably they were looking to take a step forward. And he's probably played the game, if I had to guess. Looking at him, he looks like he's an athletic guy. I don't have his full background pulled up. I apologize. My computer is giving me all kinds of trouble. But I think he's going to be a big pickup. Based on what they did last year, the jumps that they made in several key categories, I'm stoked about it, man. I think he's going to be a great choice to coach up our guys Is he a slam dunk hire? I don't know. I mean, like, have they hired a full-on DBs coach yet? Is this the guy? I don't think so. I think this guy will be the inside DBs coach, like what's it, nickel Sam, which is similar to the spur, I think, in our old defense. And the nickel is just the nickel. That was the spear. So, we'll be fine. And I think this guy will be a great choice for that. He knows what it looks like. I say this all the time, but I think it's really important to know what it looks like when you're talking about elite defense and what an elite defense or what a really good and athletic defense looks like. When you go out there and look at all 11 guys from an SEC team and you see what that looks like, or like a place in Oklahoma where you've got nothing but 4- and 5-star guys and they're working together and they're really good, you get an eye for it, right? And you can see, like, when a team has it, when it doesn't. I think it's important to have those guys who have that level of discernment around, who can see, like, okay, this team has got it or it doesn't have it. Let's tweak this. Let's tweak that. Let's bring in this guy. Let's put this guy on the bench or whatever. And I think we got guys in here who can actually coach ball now back there, as to where before it's almost like we were throwing darts with Shadon Brown at times, man. It was really bad. I don't know if the communication was bad between he and Jordan Leslie, or if they just struck out really bad in the player selection aspect of things. And maybe it was everything messed up. We were told how athletic and great these secondaries were supposed to be, and they just kind of weren't. And we still don't know. I think it's kind of half and half, personally. I think the players didn't fit the system. That's number one, because you can't say Hollis and Joseph can't play because they just did it at Northwestern the year before. Like, they were both, if they played like they did the year before at West Virginia, we would have probably been happy with that. It wouldn't have been knocking our socks off, but it would have been okay. They came to West Virginia and regressed like crazy, man. It's like not even really close. Like, they came and were, especially Hollis. Joseph was good at times. Hollis was just so bad. And, like, one of my biggest things with him was he never turned around and located the ball. It was always space guarding through the ball. Like, the ball would hit him in the back of the helmet almost every play. And it was just driving me crazy. And I'm thinking, how can you not coach this one simple thing? Or how can you not get this guy to do this one simple thing? And from what I understand, they were coaching them to do that in the college level sometimes. They coach them to not turn around sometimes. And that's just not what you do in the NFL. So why don't you coach it like they're going to learn it at the next level? I don't understand that. Anyway, I'm griping again. So I'm all about getting a guy in from OU that had a really successful defense that knows what it looks like. And I'm all about this next hire. I really am. I love this guy. As the more I learn about this guy, the more excited I get. Ryan Garrett, guys, wide receivers coach, coming in from Jack State. You can roll your eyes at Jack State if you want. He's by far one of their, in my opinion, one of their more, what's the word I want to look for? He had the higher upside of all their coaches. He's a young guy. He's gotten a lot out. I mean, look, he took a quarterback out of high school in Cam Bond and turned this kid into a star that everybody wants, right? And he did it inside of 2 years. So here's the article from the West Virginia football, WVSports.com website. West Virginia University football coach Rich Rodriguez has announced that Ryan Garrett has been hired as the wide receivers coach on the Mountaineer coaching staff. Quote, I'm excited that Ryan will be joining the Mountaineer football program as wide receivers coach, Rodriguez said. I've had the opportunity to work with him for several years and have seen growth as a coach on and off the field. He brings a lot of energy and knowledge to the position, having worked closely with our receivers over the last 3 years. He's a great addition to our on-field coaching staff. Notice he said on-field coaching staff. There are going to be guys on field and off field. He may not even recruit the position. He will. But like some of these guys that coach on the field may not recruit off the field. It's a whole new ball game with this nowadays. So just keep an eye on that. I'm excited that Ryan will be joining the Mountaineer football program as wide receivers coach. Garrett joins Rodriguez for the third separate time. He first became a member of this staff as a graduate assistant at Louisiana Monroe. We're serving as the wide receivers coach at Jack State in 2022. In 2024, he helped lead the game talks to a 9-4 record, Conference USA Championship and spot in the second straight bowl game. Jacksonville offense finished number 4 in the FBS in rushing, number 6 in first down offense, number 8 in passing yards per completion, number 11 in scoring offense, and number 21 in total offense. Garrett, top receiver, Cam Vaughn, finished with 49 catches, 804 yards, and 5 touchdowns, ranking number 3 in the Conference USA in yards per possession and per reception, and number 6 in receiving yards, 8 touchdown receptions, and 9 in catches. Made history in 2023, posting a 9-4 record, where he had Perry Carter, who earned an All-Conference USA honorable mention honors, averaged 17.7 yards a catch during the regular season, was 3rd in the conference, and he finished the year with 672 yards and 4 touchdowns, and what's a pretty run-heavy offense, guys. In Garrett's first season at Jack State, he helped guide the Gamecocks to a 9-2 record that included 5-0 mark in conference play and the 2022 ASUN conference title. The Gamecocks had one of the most efficient offenses in the country, ranking number 5 then, and 10 in scoring offense. 14 different Gamecocks caught at least one pass in 2022, while 9 of those found the end zone at least once. So he's been good wherever he's been, all the way back to his career at Ole Miss, where they were 3rd in total offense, guys. This is a kid on the fast track for an offensive coordinator job. And from what I hear, he's really good in the meeting room, and he's really good at drawing it up for receivers, and he's really good technically. If you go look at Cam Vaughn and what he was really good at last year, his route tree grew. Like he came to campus as a kid that played quarterback in high school like Rodney Gallagher. This is a good comparison. Like Rodney Gallagher, this is a kid that played quarterback in high school. No route tree experience really, except what he did in high school. I think he may have played a little bit. I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. To one of the best route runners in the conference, and a guy that was dusting people by the end of the year. Like, if they had another year with him, he probably catches 80 balls next year. Whoever gets Cam Vaughn's got a stud coming up. Like, he is a stud, man. I hope we get him. Like, I know, like, he's probably not coming to us based off just conversations I've had, and he's already moved past us to other places. He's getting big money offers and all this, but, like, if we do land him, we've got a stud. We got a number 1 receiver, And so anyway, he can do that with other guys. And I think Rodney Gallagher is going to benefit from his teaching. Very similar regimen to what he did with Cam Vaughn, I'm assuming. And I don't know for a fact if he's going to turn him into another Cam Vaughn, but he's going to help him. You can believe that. I have great belief in this guy, man, as a coach. I truly do. He's done a good job just wherever he's been, really. All right, guys, so my computer's not wanting to work on me, so I'm going to do the next read for game time. Give me just one second. We'll be right back, and we'll do my final thoughts. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by Game Time, guys. Guys, make sure you go to Game Time, download the app, and then you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Game Time, it really cuts out the fluff and brings you only incredible deals on great seats so that you don't have to waste time searching through for thousands and thousands of tickets. They have what's called all-in pricing. It's a feature that you can toggle on so that when you get to your checkout, there are no surprise fees at the very end. Last but not least, guys, Curation makes it easier for you to find the best price on great seats. They've got event loss. They've got job loss protection, making it one of the most flexible customer service ticketing policies in the ticketing industry. Go to Game Time, down the app, and type in Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. That's Game Time, guys. What time is it? It's game time. If you'll believe that, that's all from memory. I don't have it in front of me. So I just had to remember what I could remember. I think they'd be proud of that. Not bad, right? So last segment here on Locked On West Virginia. Mom's bringing me cabbage rolls, I found out. That's pretty good. I'm excited about that. So I'll definitely be looking forward to eating some cabbage rolls. Big cabbage roll fan here, by the way. My mom puts marinara sauce in them or some kind of tomato sauce. It's really good. But anyway, I'm getting off track here because I'm hungry. So there's a lot of visitors on campus right now. Like I said last night, there's going to be a lot of news coming out in the next couple of weeks. We're not going to know where. We're not going to know when. We're not going to go how exactly. But I can report to you that I know of at least 2 guys that are silent commits at this point in time. And there are probably more that I don't even know about. But just know that we do have a couple guys that are committed. I obviously can't ruin their commitments for them because that's for the kids to put out. And think about this too. A lot of these guys have been under-recruited. They've never had that big hat ceremony you get when you're a kid, like in high school when you say, I'm going to go to West Virginia or wherever. So this is a lot of those guys' opportunities to do that with their family and make these big decisions for themselves. And they're getting a lot of money too. So it's important, right? So I would never ruin that for them. The only person I've ever done that for is Xavier Bosley, but he gave me permission, right? So he did that for me to help me as like for credibility, because obviously to announce a freshman All-American transferring from Jackson State, I was like on cloud 9 when he told me I could do that. And Xavier and I have been really cool with each other ever since then. He's done a lot for me, and that's why I've given him 2 NIL deals as well. So point is, you know, you do right by these guys, man, they'll do right by you. And let's show these guys all the support they can. Matt Henry was in here last night in our chat. That was really cool. The receiver from Western Illinois, he joined. I spoke with one of the players on campus earlier today who's on campus, who was asking me how to watch one of the videos. So they watch, guys, and they pay attention to what we're saying about them. So let's always keep it positive in here, no matter what we actually think, you know, if we can, in the chat anyways. That way, if somebody's in here, they don't feel excluded or unable to talk or anything like that. Other than that, guys, I don't have a lot else for you. Thanks for being patient with my technology issues. I'm going to work hard so that in the next 12 or 24 hours that this doesn't happen again, because it's embarrassing for me when nothing wants to work like this. And I don't know if it's my internet or what's going on here, but I'm going to fix it, because it's not going to happen with me on this is my life. So hopefully it's not too much of an inconvenience for you guys. And I want to thank you guys for being patient. Other than that, I don't have a lot more for you. Keep coming back. As always, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We've got over 800 subscribers in the last month. Actually, in the last 3 weeks. And we'll keep on going, guys. We'll keep on making this thing bigger and bigger. Until then, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow when we talk about more recruiting, more transfer portal access, and who knows, maybe a couple other big hires will be coming our way. Stick here to Locked On West Virginia for that. For your second listen of the day, guys, I recommend Locked On Big 12. Drake Toll leads the conversation in conference realignment news and, of course, the Big 12. Make sure you check him out for all your Big 12 coverage, and I'll see you later. Have a nice evening, guys. Enjoy your new year. Hope your holiday went well, and I'll see you next time. This episode's over, and I'm out.